Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Real Talk with Michelle. I'm super excited about my guest this evening. He and his wife are very good friends of mine, and I often have the opportunity to see him in a very relaxed atmosphere, and tonight, you will see the same. I promise you that by the end of this show, you would have laughed or smiled uncontrollably. That I promise you. My guest this evening, Kagia Kimathi Scott. He was born to Roland and Donna Scott of Detroit, Michigan on December 20th, 1971. He is the product of Christian education, having attended Adventist schools in 4 states, including Peterson Warren Academy in Michigan, Griswold Christian Academy in Ohio, Pine Forge Academy in Pennsylvania, and Oakland University in Alabama. Degrees conferred on him thus far include a Bachelor of Science in Biology from Morris Brown College, a Master of Science in Biology from the University of Alabama in Huntsville, and a Master of Arts in Pastoral Studies from Oakwood University. He is currently pursuing a Doctor of Ministry degree from South University. Pastor Scott has been happily married to the former Rondora Jefferson, who Pastor Scott lovingly calls Pretty Lady, of Atlanta, Georgia, for 23 years, and they have 3 sons, Ronald, Israel, and Emmanuel. Pastor Scott began his ministry as a local hire at Madison Mission SDA in Huntsville as pastor for care. In February of 2010, South Atlantic Conference extended the invitation to full-time ministry in the Hemingway District of South Carolina, where he happily served for 8 years. He has pastored the Gethsemane and Ebenezer SDA churches of Kinston and Greenville, North Carolina, and is currently the pastor of West Broad Street Church in Savannah, Georgia. During the COVID-19 season, he partnered with Austin Humphreys to co-host North Carolina Online Worship, which is called Now, which broadcasts services thrice weekly. Pastor Scott is a retired marathon runner, finishing 6 marathons. He is also the author of the book entitled The Fifth Gospel and a lifelong mentor. In the fall of 2015, after being invited to Rosemary Middle School to help with a disciplinary issue, he started the mentoring program 5 at a Time. He is currently the co-host of the Academy podcast with Austin and G on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook. Good evening, Pastor Scott. Pastor Scott, welcome. Welcome to the show, and thank you for agreeing to be a guest on Real Talk with Michelle. It's a pleasure. I'm excited to have this conversation with you, and I so appreciate you making the time from your busy schedule.
All right. You're so serious. You're so serious. I know this is a serious show. It's a serious show.
It is.
All right.
It is.
Me too. I'm serious. Let's go.
It is.
First question. Let's go. I'm ready for you.
Okay. All right. Look at the energy. I love it. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us some tidbits. And more importantly, tell us how you became a Seventh-day Adventist, because from getting to know you, I know that you did not grow up in the Seventh-day Adventist faith. So tell us how that came about.
Well, it's an interesting question because it seems like I didn't grow up in the faith, but I've been in since I was 4.
Okay.
I just left a couple of times, but I came back.
Okay.
But I do have a foundation.
Okay.
I have a foundation in the church. When I was 4 years old, we was driving by this church, Burns Avenue. My mama said, we about to go to church there. Next thing you know, everything changed. Everything changed. We had to eat veggie meat. And the first time, I don't know what kind of veggie meat it was, but she started off with the worst possible veggie meat, and she probably didn't cook it right.
Okay.
So, but I was little. I was 4, so I say I was raised in the church. But It depends. I mean, do I have to be born in it? Like, my grandmama wasn't Adventist. But, yeah, I've been in for a while. And she sent me, since I started going to school, it's been Peterson, Davidson, Peterson. I didn't even name Davidson because I only went there for kindergarten and first grade. But Peterson, Pine Forge, Griswold. Yeah, she was serious about that. I went to public school 1 year.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It was a great year.
So the foundation was set for a while.
I'm glad I went to private school. I'm glad I went to Adventist schools. I mean, especially on Pine Forge. But that 1 year that I went to public school, I got to play football.
You went wild.
I was good. So when I met a real NFL player, when I was in college. I remember shaking this dude was playing my position. I was the best in the world. Right? I was the best ever. Right. I was a free safety. So I met the free safety for the Falcons at the MC Hammer concert. This dude, he shook my hand. I realized, I needed to do something else for a living. But I thought the reason I didn't go to the NFL was because I was Adventist. I thought that was the only thing. If it wasn't for that,
you would be on your way. You would. Okay, so being SDA stopped
them dudes big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had a serious foundation. I mean, anytime I was outside during my college years, I went 2 years without going to church. I mean, I knew, I better hear me get back before something happened.
Okay.
One time I was in this, I was at the Greek Fest, is the thing they used to do up in Philly. And we was in this Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was Sabbath. We was in this, and I guess I was talking, and I probably wasn't using proper language. Okay. So this lady came up to me on Sabbath, put a hand on me, and started praying. Wow. And I was crying. I was bawling because I'm like, it's Sabbath. I'm out here wilding. Yeah. This lady praying on me. It was killing me. And my boys was like, why you tripping? This crazy lady praying on you. Wow. But I was like, man, I don't know. We got to go home.
Yeah, she saw your anointing probably and knew that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So I always knew, I had to come back. And I remember the first time coming back, and y'all probably, you don't know this if you never left the church. But church got a smell. I'm serious.
No.
Go leave church for 2 years. I dare you.
What do you mean?
If you leave church for 2 years, come back in there. And you be like,
what kind of smell?
It smell like church. I don't know if it's perfumes, whatever, the pews, I don't know. Church got a smell, but you got to leave for a while first. Okay. And I felt like when I came back in after 2 years, I felt like this is home. Okay. This is good. I remember this smell. Okay. I remember this place. Okay. It's all right.
Oh, wow.
And I ain't left since then.
Never noticed that. Yeah. I would never.
Well, you won't, because you won't leave. Especially while you're living here. You gotta leave. Hey, you gotta get past it. Hey, if you don't leave later.
So let's talk about when did you realize you wanted to become a pastor? And how did that journey happen?
Late.
Yeah, because you started later than the average young pastor.
Yeah, I got started up when I was 38.
Right. So how did that come about? So
I was minding my business, and I started doing these Toastmaster speeches. And I won like the state level a couple times. I got to the regional, and I keep losing like 2 spots away from the worldwide title of Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a speaking organization. So, and they have contests weekly, and then a big one once a year. So 2 years in a row, I got second place in the regionals. And I was listening to this Martin Luther King and audio book with a lot of his speeches, and kind of talking about how he came about, how he got to him. One that he was writing on the way somewhere, and then they'll have the speech. I was just like, you know what? My problem, if I can just add this one little element, this preaching element to mine, speeches, then I'd be Martin Luther King Jr., like Junior, right? So my pastor taught homiletics at Oakland University, or Oakland College at the time. So I asked him, can I sit in your class? And he asked me, did I want to preach too? I said, sure. So I had to prepare a sermon, and it was eye-opening because I'd been writing speeches and performing speeches. And the difference between the speech and the sermon, what I said at that time was the difference between a one night stand and a wife.
Okay.
I mean, the speeches, I'm trying to motivate folks. Wow. You know, but salvation, you know, sermons are salvific. So when I got my first sermon together, I mean, the weight of it was something. And then my pastor told me I was in the wrong field. You know, it's time for me to switch. I was laughing at him because I was straight. I was having a great time in life. I didn't want to be a pastor either. And so when he said that, I shrugged it off, but he's a father figure. So, you know, it was in there. It was working. It was working its way in. And then everything fell in line. I mean, all Holy Ghost. They offered my wife a job at the school, which gives me a discount if I wanted to go. Then they started the master's program right then. Because at some point I was like, well, maybe I'll go. And as soon as I said I'll go, they started the master's program, so I didn't have to go undergrad, but they have a master's program that I can go to. So a few other things happened, but it just lined up. And really in my life, that's kind of how it's been a lot. Like the whole reason I got to Huntsville out of Atlanta was all lined up. I just went to the 100th anniversary of Oakwood. Some lady, she was my mama friend. She was my friend. But she pulled me aside. I'm at Oakwood to have a good time. She pulled me aside, talked to me for a half hour, got me to promise to check out Huntsville. So I come, like I said I would. I came to check Huntsville out. Went to Madison Mission.
Yeah, I know Madison.
And it was crazy. Like during the announcements, they was playing music. I mean, it was just, I was like, this is a whole nother world. Yeah. Everybody doing it now, but it was a whole nother world. I was like, this is nice. So I went to check out the school. And I seen this black girl in the parking lot of UAH. I was like, hey, what's up? Hey, tell me about your school. She brought me in to meet a guy, Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson offered me a full scholarship and a stipend.
Wow.
On the spot.
Wow.
So these kind of things keep happening.
Yeah,
and so deciding to go to Huntsville and then deciding to go into ministry, I actually changed my mind about the ministry for a day. I'm going to put them on blast right now. But it was my two sister-in-laws. They were hating. They sure were hating. They were like, what you think? Everybody think they're going to come down here, mess up their family, say they're going to go to be a minister. They come down here and just change their whole life. Next thing you know, they flunk out. You know, they were so negative. I was like, oh, man.
So you had to prove them wrong as well.
So no, that ain't what happened. I'm telling you. I was like, dang, well, maybe I don't want to go into ministry. For like
50 seconds?
No.
24 hours?
No, not that long. But like for about 12 hours. But so what happened, that was the worst day of my life. I was just mad all day. Like they can make commercials, like try to give me a Snickers, but it wouldn't work. I was just mad for no reason at everybody. And it dawned on me, I'm mad because I changed my mind about the ministry. And when I changed again,
you were good to go.
And so, and really every kind of decision along the way has been, you know, if God give me a sense of peace, I'm good. I mean, I pray. If he don't want me to do something, I should feel funny, right? Hey, he got to have some way of telling me.
Yeah, signs and
when I remade my decision to go into ministry full time and not half step, because I think my decision was I'd take one class.
Test it out.
Right, but when I fully made the decision to do it, and I did not flunk out. I got straight A's. I'm a straight A student. Okay, but that's for my sisters. I'm just throwing that in there for them. But it was right for me, and I remember asking Doggett, that's my pastor that I was talking about. I remember asking him, you know, what about everybody who majors in theology, but doesn't get picked up? He said, man.
Don't worry about it.
He just brushed me off. I'm like, I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you. It's like, you all right, you good.
Yeah, because then I guess you were thinking about going through it, and then at the end of it, what's next? What if you did it and you weren't picked up or wouldn't have a job being a pastor? So I guess that crossed your mind.
Yeah, and I mean, I was really fine in life. You know, I thought I was good. I had a couple of businesses, employees, nice family, nice church life. Everything was wonderful. And one thing I used to tell people all the time is, I'd never be a pastor. I used to always say that. You know, not in hindsight, you know, anybody asked me about that anyway. I don't even know why that ever came up. But I know growing up, I said I'd never be a pastor a whole lot. Yeah, so
trying to convince
it must
yourself.
have been something.
Trying to convince yourself.
And the reality is, I know you got 1,000 more questions, but the reality is, like, you know what I do for a living?
Yeah.
I go to birthday parties, and they so happy for me to come there and pray. Like, oh, I just go show up. Ah, Pastor Scott, so good to have you here.
And lunches.
I just pray for them, and I just go visit. I do the same things I was doing as an elder.
Get paid.
But I get paid. I stand, look, you know I like talking. I stand in front of people and they sit there and listen to what I say. Like for as long as I want. I can keep them. They hungry. They still gotta stay. They can't go nowhere. They gotta stay. They stay right there. I say, hey, stand up and get a Lord a hand clap. Just stand up and get a Lord a hand clap. They with me. We worshiping. I love it. That's what I do for a living.
Yes.
When I was an elder, when I was a deacon, I had to do all the same things I do now. I studied the Bible all the time. I you know, after, you know, when I came back, I did all the stuff I do now, but I was not getting paid a lick. Now, all the stuff I was doing, that's why I had to start running marathons. I needed a hobby. Because all the stuff I did was a hobby. All the stuff I did, you know, for Christ. And all of a sudden, now I'm getting paid for it. So now what I do with this free time? Yeah.
Wow.
So
interesting.
does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And
All
my
right.
next question is, I know that you wanted to study medicine. So what was that transition like? I mean, did it interfere with your decision at all to become a pastor? Because that was something you wanted to do.
No, I was dumb on that way earlier. So I got my master's in biology. That had nothing to do with medicine. I was going to be a doctor when I went to undergrad. Got to having a good time. I had a spot at Boston Early Med program, but I didn't want to go early. So, because I was having a great time in school. And then I changed my mind because all the network marketing companies started, and I knew I was going to be a millionaire before my people finished med school. So I said, y'all go. I'm about to make these millions. Yeah, I ain't make that much money. I did not make a lot of money. Only thing I did was every time I seen people, got on their nerve, trying to tell them about this wonderful opportunity I got. Anyway, but so I dropped that. I dropped the ball on that. Had fun for a few years in Atlanta, and then when it was time for me to straighten up, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, not that I was gang violence or nothing, but I'm just saying, I thought the Lord was calling me when that sister talked to me in the hallway. And if I didn't listen, I thought I was going to die. Well, I mean, maybe I would have. I mean, I knew God was trying to tell me it's time to switch up the game. So when that happened, it was just, man, and truthfully, I also needed a wife because I always wanted to be married. I mean, for real, like my dream, you know, was to have this family.
Oh, nice.
And so
that's a good dream to have.
Now I feel like I was a young man at the time, but when I was 24, I was thinking, time getting by. You know, I gotta get started on this family thing. And again, that base I had in Christian education, I wasn't gonna marry. I dated Jehovah's Witnesses. I dated Muslim. You know, I wasn't. You know, I wasn't trying to marry nobody though, unless they were Seventh-day Adventists. And every time you go to a church, it's one pretty girl at the church. She got a boyfriend. So I know it's like 5 pretty girls now at Maranatha or whatever. But when I was there, it was just like, it was slim pickings. And I figured if I go down to Huntsville, that was another call, I'll be able to find somebody. You know, fast forward. Hey, I met my wife in about 4 months, dated her for 7 months, and married for 23 years.
Wow, that's amazing. And you were intentional about it. So
very intentional. You want to know how?
Yeah.
I had a screening process. I know we're not talking about that.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I did have a screening process, right? So it was all this stuff, right? I was like, I got to find this wife. I used to have people over for dinner every week. And my plan was to have everybody at the house every week, every Sabbath. So the second Sabbath First time I asked her to come too, but she turned me down. Second time she came, and she came to every other Sabbath dinner I had. She took over the kitchen.
Oh, nice, nice.
And then, but she still ain't go out with me on a real date. It took like 2 months. Yeah.
Because she was probably screening you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the real... So this is what my family trip off of, is because the screening process, the last part was that time. You know, all the boxes might be checked, but you got to spend some time with somebody to know for real.
Absolutely.
And then at some point, I was like, man, forget that time, man. I'm ready. And my family, they still be talking about me because they said, what happened to time? What happened to time? Because everybody knew that I was down there and I had my whole screening process. But yeah, she was the one.
But I think that's a testament to, you know, you hear the saying all the time where when a man knows, he knows. So was it one of those things for you? You knew?
Yeah, because it was nothing left.
Yeah.
You know, it was nothing left on the list. And for real, I know somebody tripping because I said I got a list of screening process or whatever, but you better.
Yeah.
You know, it's some stuff you can't, stuff you can't live with, and you got to show yourself.
Yeah.
I showed my. She knew who I was before she got married. Now, let me tell you this though. After we got married, this is gonna act surprised. Now I showed you all of this stuff. She was like, but I didn't realize. I didn't realize it was that crazy. I showed you all this stuff while we was dating and you was cool. Now all of a sudden it's like, man, what have I got myself into?
It was magnified when it was just you two. It was magnified.
But anyway, she's still here.
But I must say, since we're talking about Pretty Lady, he calls her Pretty Lady all the time. And one of the things that I really love and admire about you is how much you honor and adore her in and out of her presence. I love that. In his sermons, he'll talk about her. He talks about her cooking and, you know, why his stomach is bigger than it needs to be right now. But I do love that. And you guys, you date her. I love that. You keep it fresh and exciting. So tell us a little bit about, or maybe you can give some advice to some pastor husbands or some potential husbands, but tell us how you keep it 23 years. How do you keep it fresh and exciting? And what kind of advice would you give?
That's so much of a crazy question because, I mean...
Well, let me...
When you say fresh and exciting...
No, fresh and exciting, I mean, you guys keep it, you know, every week you're gone somewhere. You walk together, you travel, you know, I call and you're on the road and it's just the two of you always doing something and you make the time.
We just got rid of the kids. My youngest son has been 2 years in college, so we gone.
You make the time. So share with us and give some, because, you know, it's not easy for pastor husbands or regular husbands or even potential husbands because life gets in the way and they get busy. But talk about being intentional when it comes to your spouse.
Can I just clarify? Yeah. I love your question.
Yeah.
I'm still messing with your question though, because
I see that.
You're saying, you know, life gets in the way. What
they say. That's what they say.
But what's life?
Yeah.
Is it life?
Yes.
Like, is my church
life?
My life?
Yeah.
And then my wife extra?
Yeah.
You're trying to make me cuss on your program. My wife.
Yes.
1. Kids. 2.
Yeah.
Church. 5.
Yeah.
I love church.
Yeah.
But my church don't hold no candle to my wife.
Yeah.
So wife is taken care of. Mm-hmm. And as far as it still being live and exciting, I mean, what else we gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying, like, what other option is there?
So you're still intentional, and that's good. You're still intentional about the things that you do, and
absolutely.
Yeah.
We gotta bounce. And I was joking about the kids gone. No. I was joking, but we've been leaving before they was gone. For one, when the youngest turned 16, you don't really have to trip no more because they don't like you no more anyway. So you can bounce. All right?
Right.
You know, you just leave a camera in the house so they don't throw parties, but you can bounce. But the reality is, like, the number one rule is, you know, for your children is, you know, show them how to love a woman. Mm-hmm. Show them how to, you know, and I teach in my premarital counseling, I teach them how to argue because you need to be able to argue with your spouse in front of your kids, not behind closed doors so they don't learn it. They need to know that we disagree on this and this is how we get through it. This is how we handle it.
And see you coming back
and
together.
So we're not throwing stuff at each other. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry for those people who are stabbing each other and everything in the house. But I'm just saying, but for real,
it's an admirable quality. It's an admirable thing, and I love it. And I love the fact, like I said, in and out of her presence, she's number one for you, and anyone around you or who knows you can tell.
Well, what sleep the bed you sleep in, right? You sleep in the bed you make or whatever. What's the saying?
Yeah,
come on, you know that.
Yeah,
you gotta sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
If my wife ain't happy, you know what I'm saying? What am I gonna do if my wife ain't happy? Like, I mean, so number one thing I got to do is make sure I'm having a good time at home, and then when I go out of this home, I'm everything I can be. If I'm having trouble here, like we got to work on that. Sabbatical or something. I mean, we got to work on it. So, and I think the conference supports that. I bet you if I told them, listen, me and my wife, we got to work on something. I need 6 months. I bet you they'll give it to me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's very admirable, and it's just it's encouraging to see and to know, because I'm sure a lot of people struggle with just making time.
You keep saying that. I'm saying, if you're not making time for your spouse, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't better for you. Like, if you pour into the one that's gonna pour back into you, it's just reciprocated. It's just get sweeter. If you're saying, no, I'm not gonna pour into where I'm at. That's like making somebody else's bed and coming home. That's like washing somebody else's car and then getting yours. Like, I need to wash my car. I need to shine my walls. Come on. Anyway, I'm sorry for getting so excited. You just keep saying stuff like making time.
That's the energy.
That's the thing. Like, when men have their kids walking through somewhere and they be like, oh, look at him, he got the kids. Like, they not like he helping somebody.
They're supposed to.
Like, that's the thing. No, I'm supposed to have my kids all the time. I'm supposed to spend quality time with my wife constantly. So anyway, I'm sorry for getting it. I'm gonna calm down right now.
No apologies. I love the energy.
All right.
And it's called Real Talk. So I want
so we get
real talk. That's right. That's right.
Real.
So let's get back to ministry. Tell me, what has been the hardest part of ministry for you?
My aunt had died in Detroit. So I couldn't go because I got so much church work to do. I got so much going on at church. You know what 2 of those things were?
What?
Funerals. And so I was at the house consoling the family, talking to them about their loved one. And my auntie died. And I called my homeboy, Nate Williams, and he said, look, man, you better get your butt up to Detroit right now.
Your family,
Because those people, you don't have your family gonna be your family forever. But the reality is, you're gonna leave that church. They're gonna have them another pastor. He gonna leave. They're gonna have another pastor. But you don't exchange families. You need to get up there. And so got a last minute flight, and those kinds of things kind of helped me to kind of
smooth out the
But those were the hard parts, and trying to make sure everybody happy. Some people born to be mad. Some people, they love it. They love being mad. They was fighting civil rights. They like, hey, we need something to fight about. Y'all can fight, but I ain't getting in there. Calling me, telling me what somebody said. Why you calling me?
Right.
They said it. Don't call me. But I used to be like trying to referee. Oh, I used to try to ref so bad. I'm going to I'm on their house like, hey, so listen, sister, but you got to understand where they're coming from. I'm trying to talk. She'll be mad at something else next week.
So how do you deal with that now? Now that you've learned and smoothed out those things and know that, okay, you can't be the in between. If something happens now between your congregational members or your board members, or how do you deal with that now? Now that you've learned,
the issues are really like Satan's distractions. We trying to do something here. Y'all, this what y'all want to argue about? But I used to give an ear to it, but nah. Now it's like, no. Did you see what somebody said in that text chat? No. I read the first 2 lines. I'm not reading the whole thing.
Yeah. Can't dedicate your time. So what's been your biggest joy in ministry?
Well, I really love to preach. I really love it. If I got my 3 points by Monday, by Tuesday, everything, since I've been here, I remember telling that part in my sermon where I was at the gym. And these two like 20-year-olds was like hugging on each other and kissing each other on the forehead stuff. They was all lovey-dovey. And, it made its way into my sermon. So if I got my 3 points already, whatever I'm coming across, whatever I'm watching on TV, whatever I'm reading, I'm like, hold on, I can use that, hold on. And so that kind of happens all week. And then by Thursday, Friday, I'm up I got a big whiteboard in the office, and I'll write what I'm going to do for my introduction. I put my body in the middle, what I'm going to do for the appeal. Then I can step back and look at the whole thing. Then I realize that don't transition to that, right? Okay. Well, how am I going to get from that to that? Okay. Well, does that make any sense? And I'm able to kind of to massage it a little bit before preaching it. Okay. Because I can't cheat no more. Okay. So back in the day, I had 2 churches. All right, this is our first time with one church. When you got 2 churches, you always can preach it. Then you just preach it better. Because like I know what I'll do next time. So now I got to preach it good the first time. So
one shot.
Right, that's it. And it's gone. Like now, it's on YouTube. Yo, that's it. So I got to hit that thing. So I got to write it all. I put it all out on the board. And Sabbath morning, I transferred the outline to my iPad. Lest the iPad go dead when I'm preaching like that one time.
Well, you did fine. You were good. You're good.
Now, what's up with the ADD?
No, let's talk about this. So we joke about this all the time. And you say it all the time that you have ADD. And you just mentioned, when you're preparing your sermon, you really don't write anything down and you compartmentalize and all that stuff. So tell us how, and I also remember you telling me that you haven't been formally diagnosed, but you were diagnosed by Pretty Lady. So she's been with you for 23 years. So I'm sure she's qualified. No. But let's share a little bit about...
I love the fact you don't know the whole story.
Okay. Share it.
One day, that lady told me, she said, either you going to get on some medicine or I'm going to get on some medicine. So when she said that, we got somebody to diagnose me. Okay. And because I read a book called Driven to Distraction as well, and Answers to Distractions is companion books, and both of those were really eye-opening. Let me know, not that I'm not crazy, but let me know that there's some good aspects of it, and there's ways around stuff. So because I thought I'm just forgetful.
Very, yes.
And people like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, it's like I got a disease or something. Like I just can't remember nothing.
Where you put your keys, where you put your phone.
But what I love though, after and I let me finish with the medicine. I took the medicine for 2 years, and I stopped because when I didn't take it, for one, my doctor, the dude, when I went in, he wouldn't talk to me. I be trying to tell him about my week or something. He about to collect his cash. I'm trying to tell him what's up. He just looking at his little pad. Then he was just like, okay, great. And he wasn't listening to nothing I said. And so I was like, this dude just stealing from me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't do. And then I'm like, can I see you every other month? Why am I coming every other month? You don't even look at me, dude. So anyway, I noticed that when I didn't take it, I felt so down. And I realized I'm on drugs. And so after 2 years, I stopped taking it. But what we do, people with ADD, we find ways around stuff anyway. And so I know how not to lose my keys. I just do stuff that you don't have to do. When I get out the car, I do not close my door right away. I get out my car and I go.
Check it first.
I mean, there's certain things that I do. And so there are ways around like things that happen to you because you have ADD. But then the blessing is, hey, ADD is sweet. I'm not trading. I'm not trading with none of y'all. All right, we creative.
Yeah. You
I mean, after learning about ADD and like looking like all those artists, like Da Vinci and all them. When you read about them, them dudes was serious ADD.
Triple ADD.
Yeah, when you start reading about them, so it's like all these inventors, all these guys. Yeah, and so hey, I take my creativity, I take my brain. I remember, I could tell you so many stories, right, about my life, right? I can tell you stories that I heard other people tell you about their life. I just don't know where my keys at. That's all. I preach without notes. I just don't know where my glasses at to look at them.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll take what I got.
Yeah.
If I was rich enough, I just had me a little assistant, have all my stuff. Just follow me and just pick up my stuff. And we'd be good. We'd be good.
Oh my goodness.
So ADD, anybody that got ADD, I'm for real.
Yeah.
I don't even think anybody should take medicine. Just figure out the workarounds.
Yeah, what works.
Read Driven to Distraction, and Answers to Distraction, and find those workarounds. Do things. I knew a guy that used to put his keys in the refrigerator with his lunch.
Oh, because so he had
he knew he was gonna have to get his keys to get in the car.
Right.
He didn't want to leave his lunch at home.
Right.
So I mean, you just have to. Let's do some things like that.
Right.
I got straight A's, but it's because I was standing up in class in college. I got C's in high school because I couldn't stand up. In college, I don't care what y'all think. I'm standing up through college and grad school. I'm standing up in class, walking around. I sit down, take some more notes, stand up.
Yeah.
Straight A's.
Yeah, that's good.
Because you gotta know. You ready to do the next question? You're making your next question.
No, I'm thinking because I don't want to forget.
People thought we worked on that. She's like, next question. Go ahead, I'm ready. Shoot.
Pastor Scott, this is my show. Real Talk with Michelle. Okay?
Real Talk.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know it's your shirt. Because you're the only one got the shirt on. You're supposed to bring your guest a shirt. You could have did that. That's almost purple too, ain't it? What is that?
No, it's
pink. Like pink purple?
Pink. It's pink.
It's pink?
Yes.
Yeah, I need the purple one. Do we get a free shirt?
I'll work on it.
Because we was on the show?
I'll work on it.
Okay. Everybody who was on the show before, if you're watching this.
Stop!
You should be getting the shirt in the mail.
Let's talk a little bit about, you had told me about being shot. There was a time in your life when you got shot. And I know that you are so loved by the young people and very relatable. Tell us a little bit about that story. I think it was maybe wrong place, wrong time or something like that. But share with us that experience where you got shot.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time, as in everything bad happened to me happened on Sabbath. Friday night. Been shot at and shot. So the time that I got, but it actually got shot. So I was Friday night. I was out and walking, minding my own business in College Park. I've been in Atlanta for almost a year now. It's my freshman year. I'm from Detroit. I thought Atlanta was Mecca. I've never seen no fights. I'm telling you, I was like, this place is crazy. All these educated black people. Police ain't pulling us over. You can drive a nice car and not be pulled over. I was like, this place is wonderful. This place is great. I was walking around in the clouds, whistling, walking around in the middle of the night, thinking, this ain't the hood. And this dude came up to me and was like, yo, you got a dime bag or whatever. You want some weed? And I was like, I don't know nobody around here, man. I just moved here. I don't know nobody. I was minding my own business, walking. These guys walking behind me. To this day, ain't nobody walking behind me like that. I'd be like, what? Go ahead. I walk behind you. But anyway, they walking behind me. Next thing you know, got me snatched up. One of them, and I'm trying to, do the things you see on the movies. They always do this thing when somebody grabs your back. You do this thing like this. You grab the fist right there. You go, and then they go, yeah, right? That's what happens. So I'm like, hey, I got this. This dude got me choked up. I do the thing. Shroom. I missed him. Yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to karate chop him or something. But the other dude pulled out the gun. Once I see that gun, movies was gone. I put my hands in the air. My legs were spaghetti. I was just like, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. That's exactly what I said. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. Because I ain't have nothing. I'm a freshman in college. I can't even catch the bus. So this dude shoot me anyway. I don't know why he shot me. This dude was satanic. Right here. Put the gun right here. Shot. So this dude that was choking me ended up like he was holding me up. So he let go and I'm on the ground. So I got up and it's like three of them. One of them was like, don't move. One of them was like, run. One of them was like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what he said. So I was just in my head, in my brain. It was like slow motion. I was like, if I stay here, they can just shoot me right in the head. So if I run, maybe I'll get away. So I started booking. So it was strange. It's like a whole family reunion right here, like on the corner. It's like I'm getting shot in front of a family reunion. I'm serious. I'm still serious about that. But anyway, so I'm running, and these guys behind me. So now all I can think of is I'm about to be shot in the back, paralyzed for the rest of my life. I was scared, so I'm running. I hear a gunshot again. And so I just knew I was going to be paralyzed when I heard that shot. So I'm thinking, I know this sounds crazy, but maybe you think like this, like during times like that. But in my head, like it's like the cartoon. This bullet is right behind my back. And I'm like running. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I feel like the bullet like chasing me. I feel like that. And I remember turning the corner, like at the family reunion. I remember turning the corner and thinking, I got away or whatever. Went to my boy's house. They ain't had no car. We had to go to his boy's house. The one dude that was driving, his girlfriend came out like, y'all stop playing. What's that, CashApp? Let's stop playing. That's not funny. That's not funny. I'm like, girl, come on. Right. So they took us to the hospital and they said like the bullet was that close to my aorta. And if it would have hit the aorta, that would have been it. But they would have known because I would have been coughing up blood and stuff like that. And so the bullet was just lodged in the other side of my stomach. So it like went through some stuff, went through the organ, the stomach organ twice, clipped the liver, hit some intestine, and just lodged right here. They just had to cut it out, open me up, clean me all up. So. And it was one of those things that happened on Friday. Yeah. Totaled my car on Friday. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff. I had a nice one too. I had a Maxima. You had all when I was in college, when I was a senior, I was driving a Maxima. That one goes sweet. Boom.
So, tell me a little bit about 5 at a Time, the mentoring program that you started. Tell me how that started and what it's about.
So one of my the husband of one of my members was a vice principal at a school. And he called me and asked me to come over to school for something. And then I talked to the principal afterwards. I think I just came to talk to the kids. But I talked to the principal afterwards, and they were suggesting that I come over there on a regular basis. And so what we did, I would come over every Tuesday, I believe it was, and have lunch with them. So my group, they got me a group of guys, and we would have lunch every week. I would bring chicken from this place called Super Chicken. So for like $16, it was a hole in the wall. The chicken was slamming, and I could feed 5 kids and myself from Super Chicken. So that was $16 worth every week. Went up there, and they started wanting to always come to the church. They asked me to come to church every week.
That's good.
But I would have to drive an hour and a half, get them, drive them back to the church, drive back. So they came to church sometime, but I ain't bring them every week. But they always wanted to come to church, always wanted to be around. And what's funny, I asked the dude, because, when the program first started, it wasn't a program, it was just me going to the school. I called it 5 at a time so I can put it on the resume. But when I was there, with them, you throw me off laughing. See, I'm distracted now. So anyway, the kids when I first got there, like they kept getting in trouble. I kept having to come up to school, like you better come get this boy. So I'm coming up there all the time, and they chose guys who didn't have both parents in the home and stuff like that. And at some point, I called my man, the vice principal. Was like, dude, why all the kids you gave me, man, on the verge of getting kicked out of school? He was like, that's why we gave them to you. And the great part about it is, I still keep up with these guys. The great part about it is, they all graduated. They started doing better.
Nice.
And
you're still in touch.
Yeah, they were 8th graders. My first group was 8th graders at the time. They all went through high school, did well. But it was a serious investment. But I think it was well worth it. I mean, $16 a week. 1 hour, just eating lunch with the guys.
Vibes, of course.
Yeah, and if like just think if like it was 10 of me, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I ain't had no real curriculum. I just went and ate lunch with them and whatever was going on. What happened to you? They said, we talking about what they've been doing in school.
Quality time.
What we talking, joning on each other or whatever. I'll have a little thing I'll teach them. I have about 5 minutes, but most of the part I just hung out with them. And I think
but
really,
that's something they didn't have. That's something they didn't have.
Right. And I became a guy in their life.
Right.
And I think, I think we could duplicate that. Now that you brought it up, we need to do that here in Savannah. But
So let's also talk a little bit about. I didn't even know this about you until I read the bio. Because
you can't be telling people you wrote a book when if you put it in your face, you can see past it with no problems. You know why this book's so small?
Why?
Because it was supposed to be this book. The first title was Revelation on a Platter.
That's a great Revelation
on a Platter.
I like that.
I was trying to make it simple.
I like that.
So
hand it to you.
It was a group of us. Yeah. We gonna write this book.
Yeah.
I was gonna do. Everybody was gonna give me their stuff. What you got on Revelation 1? Everybody give me your stuff on Revelation 1. And I'll do it in my own words or whatever. And we're going to, it's going to be nice. So we had this whole plan. This dude started going to school. This dude started doing this. Next thing you know, I got like the first 4 chapters like for a year. Then I was just like, you know what? Why not just call this volume 1? So I just cleaned it up and called it volume 1. And so volume 2 will be coming soon.
Give me the book. So tell us a little bit about the 5th gospel. So being an author it's a great accomplishment, no matter how small the book is. Yeah. There are a lot of people out there who want to write a book or is thinking about it and don't even know where to begin. So tell us about the book, what it's about, and what made you write it. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to do a book on Revelation that was not scary. And so because Revelation is not scary. There's stuff in there that if you don't know the interpretation, it sounds so deep and serious. But if you really break it down, it's called a revelation of Jesus Christ. It's not a revelation of John. It's a revelation of Jesus Christ. It's the last book of the Bible. All right, so why be scared of that? This is Jesus after the Gospels. We about to reveal him to you. This is what he's doing. This is what we got in store. And so Revelation 21 was always my favorite. I didn't get to that in the book. It was always my favorite chapter of the Bible. And I just wanted to do something that was it's heavy stuff, but it's light. So you gotta take the heavy. It's my job anyway as a pastor. Take this stuff. It's all heavy and complicated. Mess with it a little bit and then produce it. Because everything that you get in church, I gotta make sure that the 10-year-olds get. Like they gotta go home with the same thing you go home with. And so in preaching is the same thing as this. They say all books need to be written. Not all books, of course, but they say if you really want to sell a book, it needs to be written on an 8th grade level. I think it's either 6th grade or 8th grade.
Everyone can understand.
Yeah, so you really have to, you have to make the things in Revelation relatable. And so that's what we did. I love the book, but I would, wouldn't I?
You wrote it, of course you read. The fifth gospel, understanding the Christ of Revelation. Okay, so that's quite an accomplishment. Let me ask you a question as we prepare to wrap up. What sin do you struggle with the most?
That's a good one.
I asked a question.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Sin that I struggle with. Because I used to be tripping off of a lot of stuff that is like, is this a sin or is this not a sin? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't be tripping no more, really. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm just going in the right direction.
Good.
But I ain't perfect.
Yeah, none of us are.
And I don't even know what perfect look like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the rich young ruler, like those guys, those Pharisees, like they thought they didn't have no sin. So their sin was the sin of pride. Mm-hmm. And so I don't have the real sins when I say real, I don't have the sin that you can list. Yeah. But I got sin because I'm selfish. Mm-hmm. I'm a control freak. Mm-hmm. I got stuff that's wrong with me that's getting better the longer I stay with Christ. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't have the listed sins though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna murder nobody. Mm-hmm. What is it? Lie. If you call me a liar, that's my pet peeve. Mm-hmm. And I used to lie to my mama, but my whole point was, if you ain't my mama, like you ain't good enough for me to lie to. I'm saying, why I'm gonna lie to you? Like, what you got on me? Yeah. What you got for me that I'm gonna lie to you?
I agree.
Anyway, what is it? Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal.
Are you living your purpose?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that.
Yeah.
This is what I was thinking about before this interview, because I know you was going to interview me about myself, which is weird, because, I mean, it's not even like a topic. The topic is Kagia Kimadi Scott. That's crazy. Ain't no topic. No, but anyway, so when I was thinking about it, I was thinking to myself, like, how much I've enjoyed my life. Like, looking through all the photo albums and stuff, looking at I'm talking about childhood, I'm talking about high school, I'm talking about college, I'm talking about the early family years, like all that. It's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Like I ain't trading with nobody. Okay. Except them 2 years, my mom sent me to that babysitter. I ain't like, but I'm for real. But besides that, like I had a sweet life. Like I've been killing the game. I'm loving it. All right, I've been enjoying it. But the reality is, like right now, it's still better than last year. And last year was better than the year before. Like right now, I'm not like, I want to relive the college times. I want to relive, the early family times when I had the kids. No, I'm waiting for some grandkids. What's next? What I got now going on right now, Empty Nest, we just started that. I'm loving this. So life is sweet. And to get back on the marriage, like it gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. So, I mean, shoot.
You're doing what you love to do. Your family life is happy. What is it? Your wife is right. Are you living your purpose?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here, and I'm not. And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy what I was doing before. But the reality is, even though I do a job that's very important, I'm gonna tell you, I'm having a great time doing my job and living my life right now. And I hope everybody can have that.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, but not everybody can.
I always feel like if you don't like your life, get on the boat. Go to Africa. Do something different. Just change it up. Go to Europe. I mean, you ain't stuck. Shoot. So, I mean, and I don't know, somebody's out there, but I am stuck. I don't know about it.
Yeah, change the paradigm. You gotta change that paradigm. Yeah. So, I know that you, again, love the young people, love the elderly. You're just a people person overall. So I'm not going to limit you to what I'm about to ask you to do. I'm not going to limit you to a group, a specific group. What I will ask you to do is just look into the camera and just leave some words of encouragement to our viewers. Whether, someone, as we said, could be stagnant in finding their purpose, or, even just coming to the Lord, or whatever is going on right now. So whatever is on your heart, I'm just going to ask you just to give some closing statements to our viewers. Go ahead.
Just don't waste no time. Do not waste no time. Like, half in something. Half in your job. Half in a relationship. God created all this. I know sin messed a lot of stuff up, but he still created us. We are wonderful. In this whole world, he put Adam and Eve in the garden of delight is the translation. All right. He wanted us to be here and to enjoy it. And I'm trying to tell y'all, do your purpose. Didn't I say it earlier today? I had a whole bunch of stuff that I was doing on the side while I was making my money, and all those things that I did on the side became my job. There's nothing better than what you love to do becoming your job.
Yeah.
And there's not many people that can't happen for.
Yes. Yeah.
And look around, man. And she asked those questions. She asked those questions about the pretty lady, but for real, if you ain't got that, it's ain't gonna take nothing but time. Whoever they are, whoever your spouse is, y'all need to hang out. Cause what y'all busy doing? What?
Like,
I remember this cat used to work at my job with me. I don't know how much time I got on this. This dude worked with me. This dude worked like doubles all the time. He never had no time, and he had another job. It was like the GU. He used to wash the dishes at my at Applebee's. And this dude got a real nice car. It was new, but he had that much money. And so he never had no time to do nothing with his nice car. And what I'm saying is, like, don't fill your life with stuff that's not as important as the stuff you so-called working for. Like, if you working for your family, that's who's supposed to get your A1, number one, best time. Yeah. And let the other thing get your secondary time. Because God ain't waiting for us to get to heaven to give us stuff that we can enjoy. Like, that stuff is here. Go find a beach somewhere. And take somebody and walk on that joint. Get you a floaty. Jump in a pool you ain't got a beach. Have a barbecue. I just learned how to barbecue like this year. Yo, if you don't know how to do it, learn how to barbecue. I'm just saying there's so much out there. Jump out of plane, something. Do something. Enjoy this thing. You think God planned when he created all this? He created all this. Don't waste it. Don't waste no human beings. Don't waste no relationships. And don't waste your life half living it when you can take advantage of everything God put here for you.
Yeah. Good words. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate you making the time. I thank you for your honesty, your vulnerability, and for the real talk. This platform has allowed me the chance to, have some real talk with other pastors as well. And I have pastors who are, other friends who are pastors as well. And I must say that you are one of the most funniest and most relatable. I love you all too, but you're one of the funniest pastors that I do know. And I thank you for being a part of my life. I love you and I thank you. I thank you.
I love you too, Michelle.
I love you, Pastor.
Can't hug across this table.
No. And to your viewers, again, thank you so much for supporting this platform. We want to thank you for watching. We pray that you were blessed and encouraged by Pastor Scott's testimony and journey and faith walk. Until next time, let's have some real talk.